Yeah.
Perfect. So we're going to work on just the 4 different pieces that we need to work on when we're working through adding the twist and getting everything working with that push and pull. But first, we want to make sure we're establishing what positions we're working in to get ourselves ready. So when we're working with this from a split position, we have either that or we're going to have a full transfer. Those are our 2 positions right now, either split or a full transfer. So full transfer referring to that I've completed 100% of my weight over to a particular foot. In this case, it's my right. So split obviously would be that I'm right perfectly in the middle, or some semblance of that. You know, we can talk about percentages all day, but the idea is think of it as perfectly in the middle for now. And then full transfer is 100%, 50, 100, so on. So once I get into whatever one I'm going to do, which I'm going to use the split right now, we're going to go for that pick up of that center we've talked about, kind of getting that kind of jellyfish, or like you said, that blobby column. When I'm taking the deep breath in, you might notice that your shoulders might come up to settle that down so you can see that the body's still relaxed, but your center's still active. So what I'm going to do without changing weight is I'm going to pick a particular foot. So in this case, we're just going to work on my left going forward. So my left knee goes forward, my right hip pulls back. So I'm working just on twist. You should feel a natural limit. If you start losing that limit, you see my hip has come out. So most likely my center has released too. Because when I pull that in, it pulls all the hips. So both hips, excuse me, all the hips, both hips back under ourselves. And then when I switch it, right is forward, left hip's back. So you're going to start to see that whatever knee in this case is bending forward is going to be that push connection. Whatever hip is pulling back is the pull. So you can naturally start to see where my hands, I'm exaggerating a bit more, but you can start to see what will begin to happen. So that will be the first step that we're doing. The second will be take the same process of center, so find the position, in this case 100%, center, settle, and then we pick the twist. So me on my left foot, I'm going to find my center, take the deep breath to settle. Now I'm going to assume that now, anytime you're on my particular foot, in this case, my left, that hip is going to be forward, or that knee would have been forward, so this is where the push connection is, my hip's going to pull back, my right hip. So then I have that nice twist, and then I would have the push and pull connection and relationship to it. So then I would just settle that out, go through the steps again, center, settle, twist. So you can see that how it gets a more obvious motion. Then I would just comfortably shake it out if I got any tension, right foot, repeat. So right hip will be forward, left hip will be back. That's where the twist exists. So we have that motion down for ourselves. Now, excuse me, when working at trying to blend those pieces together, there are 4 steps to that. And it goes, we go to split, transfer, untwist, and then settle, based upon the words that make sense to us. There are other ways to talk about it. We might hear them along the way. But right now we're going to use, in this case is, we'll show it again, split, transfer, untwist, settle. And when we're talking about the settle, referring specifically to the knee rather than your hip, because of what tends to happen as the habit. So if we were letting the knee settle, you see that my hips still stay pretty lifted and I'm working just on that twisting plane rather than accidentally working on a side plane. And now I'm out of position, as you can obviously see. So then I'm going to go to split, transfer, untwist, settle. Split, transfer, untwist, settle, split, transfer, untwist, settle, split. So you see how it starts to blend in. Transfer, untwist, settle, split. So you can start to see how we'll start to blend. However, what I want you to think about are those 4, each very individual pieces, you know, as each individual, it's each individual piece, versus it will start to become one woven action, only because we need to retrain ourselves to go from this to this motion. So again, split, transfer, untwist, settle, split, transfer, untwist, settle, split, transfer, untwist, settle, split, transfer. In this case, I'm not twisting, I'm transitioning, so I'm unsettling, or I would think of it as it'll be more of a settle, unsettle, settle, split, and the whole thing through. So where it goes different in back, we'll talk about that later. But right now, I want you to work with just your side motions.
Okay.